Have you ever wondered what the worst nuclear disaster in history might have looked like? It was a late night on April 26, 1986, when the tranquility of Chernobyl was interrupted by a sudden, catastrophic event. A routine safety test, designed to simulate a power outage, spiraled out of control due to a flawed reactor design and operator errors. In the twinkling of an eye, an uncontrollable power surge led to a massive explosion, ripping through the stillness of the night. But the horror didn't end there. Only a few heartbeats later, a second explosion erupted, this time exposing the reactor core and igniting the flammable graphite moderator. The night sky was filled with the terrifying spectacle of radioactive material spewing into the atmosphere. The calamity had begun, and the world was about to witness a nuclear disaster of unprecedented scale. As the dawn broke, it brought with it the sobering reality of a crisis that would echo through the decades to come. In the wake of the explosions, chaos ensued. The immediate response was a desperate scramble, with firefighters deployed to the scene, unaware of the lethal radiation they were being exposed to. As they battled the flames, efforts were also underway to prevent the spread of radiation into the environment. This was no ordinary disaster, and the Soviet government was soon forced to acknowledge the gravity of the situation. They began evacuating the nearby town of Pripyat, and ultimately, some 115,000 people were moved from their homes in 1986. In the years that followed, over 220,000 more were relocated. An exclusion zone, covering roughly 1,000 square miles, was established around the reactor. This ghostly realm, devoid of human habitation, stood as a stark reminder of the disaster's reach. But the disaster was far from over. The real cost was yet to be realized. The cost of the Chernobyl disaster was not just monetary, but deeply human and environmental. The immediate health effects were horrifying. Many of those exposed to high levels of radiation suffered from acute radiation sickness. Plant staff and emergency workers were hit hardest, with 28 succumbing within months. The long-term health consequences, however, have been the subject of extensive study and debate. Apart from a significant increase in thyroid cancers, the United Nations Scientific Committee on the Effects of Atomic Radiation found no major public health impact attributable to radiation exposure 20 years after the catastrophe. The cleanup efforts saw hundreds of thousands of workers known as liquidators laboring in areas of high radiation. Their heroic efforts to decontaminate affected areas, construct a sarcophagus around Reactor 4, and prevent further release of radioactive material exposed them to considerable risk. The human toll was staggering and the environmental impact profound. Chernobyl, a name synonymous with nuclear disaster, has left a lasting impact. The catastrophe sparked a revolution in the nuclear power industry's safety culture, triggering sweeping changes in operational procedures, reactor design, and emergency response strategies. It underscored the dire need for safety, transparency, and accountability, shaping the industry's approach to nuclear energy. The environmental impact within the exclusion zone is a paradox of devastation and resilience. This uninhabited area has transformed into an unexpected wildlife sanctuary, demonstrating nature's remarkable ability to rebound. Yet it also serves as a living laboratory where researchers study the long-term effects of radiation on flora and fauna. Culturally, Chernobyl has seeped into the collective consciousness as a potent symbol of the potential dangers of nuclear power. Through documentaries, books, and the critically acclaimed HBO miniseries Chernobyl, the events and their aftermath continue to captivate and caution the world. Chernobyl remains a stark reminder of the potential dangers of nuclear power and the importance of safety, transparency, and accountability. Thank you for watching. We would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to become a part of our community and stay updated.